Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have 2 o'clock. Thank y'all for being here. A little unusual time and place for our Ag Committee. We got a lot of work to do in an hour. I think Ways and Means comes in after this. So we'll try to get started, and I don't know an order of some of these bills yet, but we'll get to them as we can. I want to ask Chairman Corbett if he would to open us up with prayer.
Everybody bow with me. Dear Lord, we just want to thank you for this day, Lord. Just thank you for many blessings you bestow upon us each and every day. Lord, just want to thank you for this state of Georgia, this great state we get to live in and work and play, Lord. We just pray, Lord, you just continue to lead, guide, and direct us, and everything we do and say here today would be pleasing in thy sight. Lord, just ask all this in your name. Amen.
Thank you. Members of the committee, I hope you're enjoying your ice cream. It was good to have an afternoon meeting. I didn't quite think morning at 8 o'clock was quite appropriate for ice cream, so good we have an afternoon meeting. Our peanut dinner, I think most of you who can come have RSVP'd, is tonight. Look at the time. I think we've had a slight change a little bit with the time. The reception's at 6 and dinner at 7, so everybody on the committee is welcome with a spouse or a friend. Please come. It's a great dinner and interact with our Peanut Commission Board of Directors as they give us their report, a yearly report on what they're doing. So look forward to seeing you there tonight if you can. We'll get right into our meeting. We've got a few bills I want to try to move, and some just want to hear for the first time. I'm going to turn this over to my Vice Chairman. We're going to hear HB458, our Farmers Market Authority Act first. We've heard it before, and I'm going to come to the podium, and I'm going to let Vice Chair Campbell here run the meeting.
Thank you all, and Chairman Dickey, if you want to.
Here, Council for Commissioner would maybe like to say a word about this bill going forward.
Right.
Good afternoon. I'm Catherine Russell from the Department of Agriculture, and I would just like to echo the Chairman's words, and that I know that Commissioner Harper and Chairman Dickey have been working closely on this bill, and so we're excited to see where that goes. And that's all.
Next on our committee, I'd like to ask Chairman Clay Perkle to speak to 458.
Thank you. Hello. You got me? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do want to, and I hate to correct my chairman, who I love with all my heart, but I'll be honest with you, 8 o'clock in the morning I think would be wonderful for that Dickey's Good Peach Ice Cream. So I think that's the only thing I've heard you say wrong today, Mr. Chairman, but I did want to correct the record on that.
I'll remember that. I had not many days. I'm just one wrong.
Okay, so we've talked about this bill before, and I do feel a little uncomfortable presenting this bill, as I did vote no on the inaugural hemp bill. But I do feel like this is important, that we provide the belt and suspenders, that we put in safeguards in the industry. I was reading an article this week, or this weekend. They had found some CBD in Pennsylvania, had fentanyl and heroin in it. I know a similar situation in Alabama last week. We want to make sure that which Georgia consumers consume, they know what's in it. And that's what this bill does. It takes 18 pages to get there, but I say 18. It's actually only 16, but there is a lot of language, and I'm not going to walk through all of it as we did last time. I'm going to talk to you about changes I made from the last bill that we looked at, and then entertain some questions. And I have, I think, several people that might want to speak on this today. So on lines 33, 34, 35, we specified the 0.3% on a dry weight basis to make sure that this is the federal standard as it is now. If the feds decide to change later, then there would need to be action by this body. But right now, the 0.3% THC is where it's at. At the proper moment, though, Mr. Chairman, on line 33, I would like to take out the isomers of Delta-9 THC on line 33, as well as on line 260 and 261, isomers of Delta-9 THC. And I have someone who knows why we're doing that that will speak afterwards. So please don't peg me down on that one, as it is somewhat difficult for me to answer with my limited knowledge set. I did take out on the first paragraph of your last bill. It included that the revenue generated from this particular code section would then go back to the Department of Agriculture. Had some pushback on a similar bill in the Senate side, and so as a general rule, it goes to the general fund of the state, and that way we could keep up with it. My friends on appropriations will thank me profusely for that particular, although I would like to see the revenues go back to the Department of Ag. It seemed to be a sticking point in the Senate. I had someone ask me about all of the residual solvents that we are beginning like on 995 and following. And this is to make sure that our product is safe. These are the solvents that are used that can be used to make the products that we use if they have acetates and hexanes and toluene that could provide for an unsafe product for our consumer. And so it is a fairly voluminous bill, but in order to make sure that we have all the boxes checked, to make sure that the product that we provide that has a QR code on it, that what it says is in there and nothing else. There was one additional change on line 148, 149. Previously, there was only a background check required at when the license was applied for. I added language. It seemed to be a sticking point in the Senate there again, and it provided for background check be every 3 years. There still must be an affidavit signed annually, making sure there's no changes, but we will actually do a background check in this language there every 3 years. I would there again like to thank General Counsel for Legislative Counsel for taking my phone calls yet again. And there's another spot that I meant to talk to Department of Ag about before I got up here that is not a change that I think might be effective instead of January 1, 2024, the effective date. I am concerned that we need this as soon as possible. And I know that not wanting to put the Department of Ag at a tough spot right now, but perhaps July 1 of this year, because I honestly believe that consumers are at risk when we don't have this bill. So those are the three changes that I would suggest, Mr. Chairman, that's not in this. Taking the isomers out and adding in the effective date to July 1.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate your work on it here and trying to make these products safe for consumers. It's been a concern of mine for quite some time, and thank you for your work on this bill. I know Chairman Corbett through the years has put a lot of work into hemp, and thank him and others for this. So just so the committee knows, we're gonna come back with a sub on Wednesday. Is that
Okay.
is that the status here, what we'll do. We can talk about this and ask some questions, but we'll be ready with a sub to move on Wednesday.
You're the chairman. Serve at your pleasure here,
I
sir,
think
my
that's
friend.
probably the best thing we can do today, but we can get those changes made and have it ready for Wednesday. So that's what I'd like to do.
Okay.
We do have some questions. I'll go to Lewis Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I ask my question, which LC are you reading from?
LC 510358S.
Okay, great. It was a sub. Thank you, Chairman Perkle.
Did that coincide with what you had?
It does.
Thank
I
you.
had both of them, so.
Okay.
Lines 218 through 222, and the current code has parameters for a minimum bond and
Yes.
a maximum bond. We took that out, and it just states $50,000. Is that a minimum or a maximum?
This is just what the bond shall be. So it's both a minimum and a maximum.
Thank you.
Number 10. You get, okay. I'm sorry for the small room we have. It's, I apologize. Who is,
No, it was my question.
Representative Thomas? Is that you? Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't have a mic, so he had to push
Oh,
it
okay.
for me.
All right. You're on.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Chairman. My question, with the every 3 years, the background checks.
Yes.
For someone who has a license, and let's say something happens in 3 years and they have gotten in trouble, what are the consequences?
You just out of luck. You don't get a license.
Okay.
So, we will not reward bad behavior. So
Will they have an opportunity to sell their business?
I would think that there would be, that you would certainly want to liquidate your business if you couldn't do the license. So we have not addressed that here, but I would think common sense. No license, no money, I need someone else to hold this thing. But they also had to pass a background check. Yes.
So it's transferable. Thank you.
Representative Thomas.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you for bringing this bill. And you mentioned earlier about the safety. So we know it's over 100 types of cannabinoids. And when we do the testing, are you familiar with how many labs are in the state of Georgia? Or does this bill allow for testing outside of the state of Georgia?
So this will be an independent lab within the state of Georgia that is certified. So independent certified lab. And I do know we have at least one in the state, and I'm not sure how many.
And I'm familiar with just one myself. Is that the
Mhm.
one in Macon?
Yes.
Okay. And
I
so,
know there's one in Macon. I don't know how many.
okay. So in prep, would you yield for one more question?
Yes, I will.
In preparation for this bill to go forth and having many vendors in hemp, would that one location suffice or?
So that is such an easy question. I'll have James Allen Bryant's dad, Russ, answer that for me if that would be possible.
That would be great. Thank you.
The way the bill's faced now.
You need to come up here, my friend. Is that okay, Mr. Chairman? I didn't
Yes.
mean to jump
Yeah, go ahead.
around, but he is someone that does have an expertise in this area, and he will be able to answer. Tell who you are and who you represent.
Good afternoon. I'm Russ Bryant. I'm with Second Century down in South Georgia, Osceola. To answer the question about the lab, the iOS, that according to this bill, as long as it is approved by the state. So there are a lot of labs out there all across the country. As long as they have the iOS standardization, then I think it will. It's my understanding that we would be able to test that there.
Okay. And I see counsel is shaking his head. That's okay.
And your second question was?
How many of them are
Okay,
Well, now-
we're
Would
gonna
that-
go.
now
Would
there's
that
one.
one suffice? I mean, anticipating
You
new
know,
vendors in this movement and Georgia being heading towards number one in hemp.
currently, being that we're the only processor in the state of Georgia, obviously there's going to be some lag there. You know, we're wanting competition. We're wanting people to come in. It's to me, it's the same sense of why Lowe's builds right beside Home Depot. So we want to bring this to Georgia. We want to make it strong. I know that the lab in Macon, I think they can process a full panel about every 15 minutes is what she's told us. How many? 100 a day. So that would be a lot of testing. And I think that there will be a lot of testing at the beginning of this. And being that the test is good for 12 months, the testing should slow down unless we have a lot of companies come in fairly quickly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Representative Bentley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Perkle, thank you for your work on this bill. I'm just curious to know, how would this bill actually impact the two land grant institutions in the state, Fort
on.
Valley and UGA?
Come on, I really thought you was going to ask how it's going to impact the funeral home business. And I would say it's going to drive less people to your funeral home because we're going to have a cleaner product. So I would think all of our land grant institutions that perform a lot of research in ag areas will be positively influenced by this. Yes,
Okay.
I
Okay.
do.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Chairman, would it be possible, as I introduced Mr. Russ Bryant, I introduced him as James Allen Bryant's dad, who I taught in Sunday school, whose wife is going to have a baby Wednesday. He will not be with us on Wednesday. I am almost completely positive.
Oh, 100%.
So would it be possible to further the knowledge that he has regarding the isomers of the Delta 9 THC and taking that we'll look at on Wednesday, taking that out of the next sub and have him comment then on that now because he will
Yeah.
not be available.
Let's do that.
All right, do you just want me to take questions on the isomers and esters, or just do an explanation of what they are? I guess will be my question.
Explain why it's important to take it out, if that's okay.
So, the esters currently, DEA come out with a ruling, and that would be your XO-THC, THCO, any acetates, and they have made a ruling on that. That was done 2 weeks ago, to where those are basically illegal regardless. So the way this bill states at the 25 milligrams, I think that we should leave that at the 0.3, which is on the federal level. The isomers, they have not made a ruling on. The isomers are more of your Delta 8, Delta 6, Delta 10. Those occur naturally in the plant on smaller levels than the Delta 9 will, or smaller levels than CBG or CBD will. So leaving the isomers in there are important to me because it is something that we can extract from the actual plant material. It's also something that we're seeing a lot of medicinal benefits from. We're having users that stop using other things, opioids, things like that will use the Delta 8 at smaller milligrams. So we're seeing that there is a benefit there. There is no benefit to 200 and 300 milligram products that we see on shelves currently. That's why the bill limits it to 25 milligrams per serving.
Members committee, y'all need to hear that. That's what part of this bill's about, is knowing the strength of these products and what's in them and the dosage and those type of things. So thank you for that. We're gonna move on. Have we got some other questions from the committee? Representative Hagan, have you got any? You good? We've got some other people want to speak to this bill. We're gonna try to limit it to a couple of minutes, and really thank you for those comments. And we're gonna try to keep it specific to the bill. I got Reggie Deese from the Green Toad Farm. Are you here?
I didn't think my name was going to get called that soon, but thank you. I just want to add that I totally agree with this bill. We have to create those safety nets with this product. As the first licensed grower in the state, who we're also vertically integrated, so we do not only grow the plant, we created a whole product line. And for us, I think a lot of the problems is coming in from out of state. If you look at growers in other states, they use pesticides, they use things that they're not supposed to grow these plants. Unlike Georgia, you know, we're Georgia grown, so we use nothing but food grade stuff to grow our product. We grow it with love, right? We make sure that everything we're doing is 100% in compliance. The problem is when this stuff comes in from other states, we have to have a way to test it to keep Georgia safe. So I'm all for that, and I think that that'll help protect us in the state and protect our consumer as we grow this industry. We're agriculture, right? And that's what I want to truly influence. The hemp industry is agriculture. It's not cannabis. It's agriculture. And we need to do what we can to strengthen this commodity in the agricultural industry, and that starts with protecting it through this bill as well. So that's my pitch on that. Any questions?
Thank you.
No?
Appreciate it. We're going to take a few more. Molly Beavers, Quantum Fair Trade. Could you come to the podium and speak to the bill?
Greetings, everyone. This is my first time doing this. I'm really excited. I'm in total agreement as well. I am in the community, and I'm seeing the effects of fentanyl on the ground level. And I mean, people aren't just dying, people are also just like slowing down in a way where like people are like very sleepy and almost, I don't want to say zombified, but it's actually a little scary. And the first time I heard about fentanyl, I thought it was a joke. I think a lot of people think it's a joke. And I appreciate that not only is Georgia pioneering as far as hemp is concerned, but yes, the testing is super important. My number one question is, along with this bill, there's a line in there about to provide for a venue. I want clarity on what venue means. Does that mean venue to grow? Does that mean to provide more testing centers, more processing centers? Because I don't think that one processing center is going to do it. And people talk about the legalization of or further legalization of marijuana in the state of Georgia, but we know we can't do that without more testing centers, more processing centers. So does the to provide for venue speak to that?
Well, you can speak to the author of the bill. I think anybody's open to open up a testing center. I know medical marijuana bill, who's totally separate from this hemp bill, addresses testing on that side of the thing. So, but speak to the author later. Appreciate your comments. Thank you for coming. Also, David from cherryo.org. Please come and introduce yourself. Let us know what's on your mind.
Thank you very much for having me. My name is David Rodabaugh. My company is cheerco.org. I actually just ran for agriculture commissioner as a libertarian candidate. Unfortunately, didn't win. As a matter of fact, Molly Beavers, the previous speaker, was also ran as agriculture commissioner as an independent. So we're both here from a kind of a knowledgeable standpoint. And what I'd like to address is really, I think we're kind of being misled a little bit here by these different terminologies. And we're also being misleading the public of Georgia by trying to create this difference between cannabis and hemp. Cannabis is the overall plant strain. Hemp is a low THC version of cannabis. Cannabis is often known because it has a higher quality or quantity of something called delta-9 THC. So we have somehow tried to separate these individual cannabinoids, saying that delta-8, because it's derived from hemp, which gives the almost same exact response to the human body as Delta 9 that was derived from cannabis. So as we spend time talking about what and how we should make certain of these chemicals illegal, while indeed we already have legalized other ones, is a misuse of your time, and it's a misdirection of our public. So what I really hope that we do is we get some chance of someone to come in here, address the group very directly about what cannabis is. It's not a mystical plant that changes anything. It is part of the hemp family. So we have to start addressing those things realistically. We are behind the times from all the other states around us as far as our legislative activity in this arena. We're missing out on health benefits. We're putting people in jail who shouldn't be put in jail for this. All of these reasons are one that we should take time to really understand that the cannabis plant is part of the same thing that we've already legalized through hemp. As we try to backdoor these individual laws to pigeonhole how we're going to prosecute and criminalize use of this plant further, all we're doing is penalizing our voters, the citizens of Georgia. So what I suggest is we take time and we actually redo this bill. We actually go one step further and really understand what legalization of marijuana means to the state. It's not going to create a bunch of zombies. And I said often on the campaign trail, anyone who wants to smoke weed is smoking weed. What we're doing here today is not stopping that.
We're running out of time. Thank you for your thoughts on marijuana legalization, I guess, is what we're talking about. But
well, I'm also, sir, if I might, just one more. I'm really talking about understanding the individual
this committee has been dealing with.
And when some person says that one is legal and one is not, that is really misleading. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Michael Hart's from Georgia Hemp Association. Okay, thank you. Mr. Chairman, if you want to speak anything else to the bill, thank you.
Well, thank you. I do thank you for listening.
Oh, Catherine Russell could speak to it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I got one more speaker. Could we?
Okay.
Could we have
absolutely.
Russ Bryant?
Yes, sir.
Russ Bryant. Oh, you've already done. I'm sorry. Oh, Aviva. Oh, this wouldn't be a hearing without you here. Did you bring a friend?
I did bring Scribbles, if he's going to talk. But yeah, that's definitely metaphorical, the invisibility of me because of what I'm talking about, which is the invisibility of hemp grain. Thank you for having me, by the way. My name is Aviva Vuvuzela, and I founded the Georgia Hemp Economic Revival Organization over 10 years ago now. And Scribbles and I, we educate children and everyone about the benefits of industrial hemp, which does not include, anything smokable or anything like that. And it's incredible. I mean, this one pack of hemp seeds, if you added it to your ice cream, it would make you more insulin sensitive. So insulin resistance means you might be getting a foggy head, you might be getting a little sleepy. So if you put this as sprinkles, and I think it's really yummy, then you counteract that. And so we're talking about this incredible nutrition, manganese, magnesium, potassium, omegas, every single amino acid the body needs. And so I think it's dangerous to not have this accessible to everyone because malnutrition leads to erratic behavior, disease, bouts of aggression. And I think a lot of us have malnutrition without realizing it because in the 40s, we stopped our relationship with this food. We might not have all been eating it, but our animals were. And so that meat had more omegas in it. It had more everything in it. So my issue is we have consumable hemp on the bill, but it doesn't include this. The feds have defined industrial hemp as any cannabis with less than 0.3% THC, which the Farm Bill this year is going to present 1%. We define it in this bill as anything non-consumable. So I think that's an issue with the definition if we're going to include our amazing hemp seeds and the hemp protein powder and hemp sprouts. So this is not actually hemp sprouts. I haven't started that yet, but that is also legal, and that has bioflavonoids.
Thank you. We're going to move on. Appreciate you coming.
Can I say-
Hope you can come back.
Just about the processing fee. If we define the industrial hemp and other things, why can't we define a lower processing fee? Because the industrial side of hemp cotton is subsidized even. They can't afford a high processing fee that we have.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Chairman Corbett has a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And considering the number of new members we have on this committee, I think it'd be a disservice if we did not get to hear from Squiggles. I really do. I mean, they've never heard from him.
Yeah.
Representative Corbett, I love you. You are so sweet, and you're the one that can change the world by, opening up a hemp fuel processing plant so we can have gasoline.
I mean, you're very talented.
Thank you so much. I did email all of you, so you have my emails if you have any questions. And Scribbles and I would be happy to put on a private show for you.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman Corbett. I apologize to our committee. I didn't realize we only had an hour today when we reserved this room. We look forward to Chairman bringing this bill back. Chairman's worked hard on this, so we're going to move on, and we'll be back on Wednesday morning, I hope, with some more of that. So I'm going to move on. I don't want to run out of time at the end. We have our citrus industry in South Georgia is really growing. It's new and it's growing, and new Representative Chaz Cannon has a bill that I want to hear for the first time today concerning support of our commodity, our citrus industry. I know I have some of my friend Linda Savelle here all the way from South Georgia, who's really been instrumental in pushing this industry down there and is a part of it. So Representative Cannon, the mic is yours.
I'm sad I have to follow Scribbles, but I guess I'll try to, Good afternoon, Chairman Dickey, members of the committee. I'm here this afternoon to discuss House Bill 545, which would provide for the establishment of a commodity commission for citrus fruits. I guess I'll be talking about a commission for hemp and cannabinoids at some point. But the LC is 510340. Appreciate the opportunity to present my very first bill, and it should be somewhat uncontentious. I also want to thank the co-signers of the bill for lending me some credibility since I have very little as a junior freshman. The bill is very simple. It amends Code Section 2-8-11, definitions to add agricultural commodity